Namaskar, good morning. You are watching Rajya Sabha television. I'm Smriti Rastogi with Today in Parliament. Let's begin the bulletin with the headlines. Home Minister Amit Shah to introduce a Citizenship Amendment Bill 2019 in the Lok Sabha today. Bill aims at providing Indian citizenship to religious minorities persecuted in Pakistan, Bangladesh and Afghanistan. BJP, TMC issue whip to their MPs. Rajya Sabha to take up recycling of ships Bill 2019 for consideration and passing. Bill seeks to regulate recycling of ships. Bill passed by Lok Sabha last week. And the Constitution 126th Amendment Bill and Anti-Maritime Piracy Bill to be introduced in Lok Sabha. House to have further discussion on crop laws. And let's begin with a look at the legislative business in the Rajya Sabha today. Union Minister Mansukh Mandavia will move the recycling of Ships Bill 2019 for consideration and passing in the upper house today. The bill seeks to regulate the recycling of ships as per the international standards and laying down the statutory mechanism for enforcement of such standards. The bill was passed by the Lok Sabha on 3rd December 2019. And for more inputs, we'll go across to our correspondent, Kriti Mishra, who is joining us live from the Parliament premises. Kriti, a very good morning. What is expected from the first day of this last week of the winter session of the Parliament with reference to the legislative work in the Rajya Sabha?
Well, Smriti, you may recall that last week, the Rajya Sabha recorded almost a productivity of near 100%, logging 98% productivity and over 72% start questions were answered orally on the floor of the House. So certainly a very productive week. And as far as the last week of the current winter session is concerned, there are important bills lined up. And talking about today's agenda, there's the important Ship Recycling Bill 2019. Remember, as far as ship recycling is concerned, India is a major player accounting for around 30% of ship recycling. And in fact, there are studies and estimates saying that in the year 2017, India recycled ships of around 6,000 tons. So certainly a very important player India has emerged in this realm. And this bill ensures that recycling of ship is done in an environmentally sustainable manner. So a very important bill that will be taken up for consideration and passed in the Rajya Sabha today that has already been passed by the Lok Sabha. Over to you, Smriti.
All right, Kriti, we'll come back to you for more inputs on Lok Sabha, where important bills are listed in the legislative business for today. The Citizenship Amendment Bill 2019 is slated for introduction in the Lok Sabha. Home Minister Amit Shah will introduce the bill to further amend the Citizenship Act 1955. The bill seeks to grant Indian citizenship to non-Muslim refugees from Pakistan, Bangladesh and Afghanistan if they faced religious persecution there. Amit Shah will also move the Citizenship Amendment Bill 2019 for consideration and passing. And the Constitution 126th Amendment Bill 2019 is also slated for the introduction in the lower house. Union Minister Ravi Shankar Prasad will introduce the bill to further amend the Constitution of India. The Anti-Maritime Piracy Bill 2019 is also listed for introduction. Union Minister S. J. Shankar will introduce the bill to make special provisions for repression of piracy on high seas and to provide for punishment for the offence of piracy. And apart from this, the Arms Amendment Bill 2019 is listed for consideration and passing. The bill further aims to amend the Arms Act 1959. The bill seeks to enhance punishment for illegally possessing and making prohibited arms. The bill also makes provision that a person can have a maximum of 2 firearms as against the present norm of 3. The bill will be moved by Home Minister Amit Shah. A further discussion under Rule 193 on the crop laws due to various reasons and its impact on farmers will also be taken up. Members Sushil Kodikunil and had started the discussion on 5th of December 2019. And coming back to you, Kriti, among the various important legislative businesses listed in the House today, Citizenship Amendment Bill 2019 is a crucial one. How do we see the day's agenda panning out in the lower house today?
Well, absolutely, Smriti. Remember, the government has accorded high priority to Citizenship Amendment Bill, saying that it is absolutely imperative to provide citizenship to communities or people of Hindu, Sikh, Christian, Jain, Buddhist religion facing persecution based on religion in the countries like Pakistan, Afghanistan and Bangladesh. In fact, the government has also assuaged the concerns of northeastern states, saying that this bill will not perturb the demography of these particular states due to immigration, and the government has also made provisions that certain provisions of this bill would not be applicable to the tribal areas under 6th schedule of constitution and also the internal permit line. So this is a very important bill that would be taken up today, and in fact Home Ministry has already held parleys with northeastern states to actually allay their concerns over this important bill. The government has also refuted allegations that this is against a certain religion. In fact, as far as the opposition parties are concerned, they have expressed apprehensions over the bill and have said that this bill is against the letter and spirit of Constitution. So we expect a very meaningful debate in the lower house today on Citizenship Amendment Bill. Over to you, Smriti.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Kriti, for joining us and giving us all those very important details from there in the Parliament today. And following ministers will lay papers on the table in the Rajya Sabha today. Rajnath Singh for the Ministry of Defence, Prakash Javadekar for the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting, Mukhtar Abbas Naqvi for the Ministry of Minority Affairs, Prahlad Joshi for the Ministry of Coal, Shripad Yesso Naik for the Ministry of Defence, T.G. Venkatesh and Tiruchi Shiva will present the reports of the department-related Parliamentary Standing Committee on Transport, Tourism and Culture. Shripad Yesso Naik to make a statement regarding the status of implementation of recommendations contained in the 28th report of the department-related Parliamentary Standing Committee on Defence, on General Defence Budget, BRO, ICG, MES, CSD, DGDE, DPSUs, Welfare of Ex-Servicemen, Defence Pension and ECHS pertaining to the Ministry of Defence. And meanwhile, following ministers will also lay on the table in the Lok Sabha today. Ramesh Pokhriyal Nishank for the Ministry of Human Affairs Development, Nirmala Sitharaman for the Ministry of Finance, Dharmendra Pradhan for the Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas, Prahlad Singh Patel for the Ministry of Culture, Rajkumar Singh for the Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, Secretary General to report a message from Rajya Sabha regarding the Taxation Laws Amendment Bill 2019. Kamlesh Paswan and Soumitra Khan will present the reports on the Standing Committee on Transport, Tourism and Culture. Prahlad Singh Patel to make a statement regarding the status of implementation of the recommendations contained in the 271st report of the Standing Committee on Transport, Tourism and Culture on fellowships, grants, pensions and schemes administered by the Ministry of Culture pertaining to the Ministry of Culture. Rajkumar Singh to make statements regarding the status of implementation of the recommendations contained in the 50th report of the Standing Committee on Labour on action taken by the government on the observations contained in the 36th report of the Committee on Demands for Grants 2018-19 pertaining to the Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship. Prahlad Joshi will move a motion regarding suspension of members from the service of the House under Rule 374. And that's all we have for you in this edition. Thank you for watching. Namaskar.